the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for July 2023. So on July 22nd, we have our very last astro event closing out Cancer season. What a doozy Cancer season has been. And that last event is almost closing out Cancer season and opening up the door to Leo season because, of course, Venus is going to go retrograde in Leo energy at 28 degrees, just hours before the sun steps into his place of power, into his rulership, into Leo energy, kicking off Leo season. So let's talk about Venus for just a second. As you know, Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, money. She's been in the heart and soul of the zodiac in this Leo energy for the last couple of weeks. She has made it to the very end of the Leo energy at 28 degrees. She decides to stand still and prepare to go retrograde. So Venus has a 584-day cycle as she kind of splits up her time between being an evening star and being a morning star. There's a whole slew of mythology. There's a whole deep psychological realm of understanding there. I did do a whole astro class on Venus and what her cycle is, what her parts that she plays are, and the different the different phases that she goes through. Why is this important? Well, because what she goes through is what we go through. Venus rules over a certain part of our existence, of our evolution, of our personality, of our genetic makeup. And when she goes retrograde, that takes place pretty much every 18 months, we are all put in a situation to reevaluate, reassess, if you will, who it is that we are, what it is that we want, and what it is that we actually value. So this is going to be a little bit of a doozy for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's in Leo energy. So we're getting to the heart and the soul of the matter. This is where we have to get real and raw and vulnerable with ourselves. And as Venus kind of moves into the underworld, moves into the shadow realm of her experiences, she's definitely going to have a lot of topics and themes crop up for her awareness. Starting with the fact that there is some sort of connection from this retrograde to one that we have had in the past. And again, considering the fact that Venus has an 8-year cycle, we are looking back to the time frame from July to September of 2015. So that was the last time we retrograded in this Leo energy. And although things probably aren't going to be a identical repeat session of those times, there is going to be a common theme. So we have to kind of understand that we have all been going through a quote unquote identity crisis. I hate to use the word crisis, but that's how most people understand it to be. Basically, we are outgrowing our egoic selves, and we are standing more and more in our power of our higher selves. Because we are constantly pushing the boundaries of our own soul and spiritual evolution, each time we level up in life, we have to really step back, take a good look at what it is that we've outgrown, what it is that we're no longer in alignment with, what it is that we're no longer attached to. And when Venus is concerned, we're taking a look at love. We're taking a look at our self-worth. We're taking a look at our relationships, at our money matters, at our long-term plans. And so this is going to be a very, very revealing time. Now, where Venus is mostly focused on love and money, you can definitely expect some very interesting storylines emerge. And again, may I remind you that a retrograde is in no time to enter into a new relationship, nor a new level of commitment. It is no time to enter into new financial decisions and commitments. And it is no time to be experimenting with your aesthetic. Why? Well, because when she comes out of her little journey in the underworld, she's going to have a different set of eyes, and some of the choices that she makes while retrograde, if you will, we're going to want to redo them. We're going to want to kind of erase them, if you will. So it is never truly advisable to make very serious life-changing decisions and commitments, especially where love and money and aesthetics are concerned, while Venus is retrograde. Let's just start there. So this is going to impact our relationships first and foremost, starting with the relationship with self. We're going through a little bit of a dark tunnel. We're going through the shadow realm of our experience in order to break ourselves down so we can build ourselves up in a much better way. We need to figure out who it is that we have been, who it is that we are no longer, who it is that we desire to be, and who it is that we're required to step into in order to be on the same level of vibrations and frequencies with some of the goals, some of the projects, some of the purpose, some of the mission that we are now bossing up to. Now, it's okay if you have no clue what direction, what path you want to take, or who it is that you are, or what it is that you want, or who or what actually makes you happy in this world. It's okay. You'll figure it out by the time Venus comes into her awareness again and she goes direct early in September. But we have a lot to contemplate. And let me just say that anything that was built out of ego, out of desire of the flesh, will be terminated. So this is why most times when Venus goes retrograde, we see a lot of relationships fall apart. Now, that doesn't mean that they're all going to fall apart, but we're definitely going to see a rearrangement, if you will, in the power struggles, in the energy exchange of our relationships. And any relationship that is falling apart and falling away it's because we've outgrown it. We've learned our lesson. There's no longer a want, need, or desire to hold on to that particular topic, theme, or person. And therefore, the purge, the release is very, very real. We have to understand that this is a time to reflect, to review, to reevaluate, to reorganize, to restructure, to revise, to redo, to rejuvenate, to recalibrate, to rest. This is a time of really sitting back and seeing how far it is that we come, where it is that we're at, what it is that we want to do from here. But essentially, not a great time to start anything new. We're just in a contemplation phase as of right now. Now, the Leo energy brings a certain element of past lovers or past relationship issues. It brings it all back up. Now, we have to do this for a couple of reasons. First of all, sometimes when our past lovers or exes show up, it's not because we are destined to be together. It's to see whether or not we're still stupid, whether or not we actually learned anything, whether or not we can reframe our experience and the roles that we played with that individual in a better way, where this new set of awareness, this new set of enlightenment offers us key pieces of our growth, of our healing journey that we haven't thought about for a very long time, and we wouldn't have otherwise seen unless we had the past come back into the present moment. This is an element of just reviewing where it is that our heart was at those particular points in time when we chose those particular partners that, of course, were acting as a mirror to show us the inner wounds that we were supposed to be working on and healing within ourselves. Now, the Leo energy brings a little bit of romance, brings a little bit of drama, brings a little bit of boldness, bravery, and courage to the forefront. But most of the time, this is about us needing to be bold and brave and courageous enough to align with our heart space, to ignore our egoic desires, and to really align with our higher self and recognize the new mission, the new purpose, the new project, the new goals, the new vision, the new dreams that we have for ourselves. So yes, this is the time where the old is coming back into the here and now. You've been hearing me talk about for a very long time how most of the answers that we're looking for as far as moving forward goes can be found in the past. This is the whole back to the future vibe. This is going to be a very revealing time. This is going to show us where it is in our heart space that our guards are still up, the walls are still up. We're carrying some emotional baggage that is not doing us any favors. It is blocking new opportunities, new connection, new, I'm going to say soul contracts, new levels of creativity. It is blocking our ability to truly express ourselves, especially where love and affection is concerned. We are doing an overhaul on recognizing the old, releasing that because it's no longer serving us, in order for us to really formulate the visual on what the new should be for us at this particular point in time. So there's going to be a lot of heart activations. There's going to be a lot of, I'm going to say, spicy topics and themes. There's going to be a lot of inner confusion. There's going to be a lot of aha moments that may take us a little bit of time to process. This is going to be a challenging time. It is supposed to be, because we're challenging the construct of the realm and reality that we've built based off of the egoic identity that we're now looking to break away from. And so many of us, have had a not so nice taste in our heart space, especially where relationships are concerned. But because we weren't in the position to do anything about it, many of us are just walking around playing happy-go-lucky, like nothing is wrong. Well, this is a time where you can no longer delude yourself in thinking that everything is fine and peachy keen. This is why when Venus goes retrograde, there is a lot of people that essentially start losing their shit in all of the ways that you could imagine when it comes to questioning who it is that you are, questioning what it is that you want, questioning who needs to stay and go in your life. Of course, any time that we are forced inward to truly reflect on our heart space and really see the disconnect that we have created between our physical realms and our inner realms, of course, we can expect this to be a challenging time, a little bit bumpy, if you will. We have to consider the fact that money matters are a pretty sore spot for many of us at this particular point in time. Of course, we're living in a world constructed to kill us, not to mention bleed us dry and make us dependent on some of these government structures that they want us so desperately dependent on. But the money matter is also kind of tied into our own self-worth, our own self-value. And as we kind of do the work in our self-esteem, in our self-confidence, we're going to have a different perspective on our financial situation. Retrogrades are an ideal time to reorganize your finances, to create a new budget, to reanalyze where it is that your spending habits are out of control. And therefore, we have to really take this opportunity to, again, step back, detach, act as the observer, see what is not providing us with happiness and joy and pleasure and safety and security and stability, and really focus on those problem areas because we're about to freaking solve them. This is a time that most people fear, but again, there's no need to fear anything about any kind of retrograde. A retrograde is an opportunity for us to get realigned with our higher selves. The reason why there are so many detours, so many things falling apart, is because we need that karmic kick in our ass in order to see where we're pouring all this time and energy to try and keep things the same when those particular elements and structures weren't needed in our lives anyways. They were built out of our egoic desires, not our higher self, not our mission, not our purpose. So there's nothing to fear, but just be aware that anything that is challenging you, anything that is falling apart, anything that is falling away from you is not meant for you to chase and pursue and hold on to. Let love, let go, right? It served a purpose for a time, for a chapter, for a phase in your life. And now you have to understand when, with love, you need to show the attitude of gratitude for that experience as you let it go and as you walk away from it. So there is going to be a lot of feels. There is going to be a lot of nostalgia, a lot of reflection, a lot of discomfort. Lean all the way into it. The more you can roll and not be dragged, the easier this particular time period is going to be. The more you can act as the observer instead of the egoic reactor, the easier this transition is going to be. The more you are honest with yourself, get real, get raw, get vulnerable with that heart space, the stronger you are going to come out of this retrograde as. And trust me when I say that we are all in for a very important pivot point in this particular point of our path, of our direction, of our mission, of our purpose, of the calendar. As we move through Leo season, the heart and soul of the zodiac, as we approach the Lionsgate portal, which is a timeline soul contract jump anyways, not to mention we just had the true nodes of the moon shift into the Aries and Libran energy that of course puts Venus on the back burner. She's looking to let go, she's looking to purge, she's looking to release. So this isn't about creating new. This isn't about building. This is about reflecting on what it is that has been built, has been created, has been ongoing, and really get real and raw and vulnerable with yourself on what needs to go and what needs to stay.